Poem walked over to the stone basin with the silver cup that sat under the apple tree. Sheldon would have thought it was a bird bath at first, but early that summer when he'd called it that, Poem looked confused, as though she had no idea what he was talking about. She finally grasped his meaning and burst out laughing at his misunderstanding. This is used for scrying, she had said. It's called a mirror because it contains reflections. A drink of its water can show you things that were, that are, or that may come to be. And then she dissolved into giggles, and he knew she was thinking of birds bathing in its waters. Now she lowered a silver dipper into the water, and as she murmured in a language Sheldon could not recognize, she poured the water from the dipper into the cup. Have a drink, she said, as she held the cup toward him. But slowly. The water is alive, and I don't want it to overwhelm you. He took the offered cup, and he took a cautious sip. The water sparkled in the sunlight, and when it touched his mouth, he gasped and almost spit it out. It was cool and refreshing, almost as cold as snow, but it was sweeter than anything he'd ever eaten. The cold flowed through his body so that it felt like his body was filled with light, and while this was going on, Plum began to sing an old song Sheldon didn't know in that strange language she had murmured in. But now he found that he recognized it. It was a song about seeds falling to the ground and growing where they landed. And his poem sang and the light spread through his body, Sheldon's mind filled with pictures. He saw a tiny seed land into the soil and felt the soil shake as the seed began to stir. The shoot poked through the earth above, while tiny roots spread through the earth below. The tiny plant grew, its roots reaching deeper and its branches reaching higher as its trunk grew. He could feel the deep thirst of the roots as they pulled clear water up from far below, heard the leaves shimmer and shake as they sang with the wind. And as the tree sang, he was joined by 1,000 other voices, the choir of the forest, of trees and ferns, duckweed and grass, foxes and muskrats, owls and fish, river and hills, and he understood what a vast living thing the forest was. Miss Tree? He asked in a hushed voice, facing the apple tree when the song had finished and the vision ended. His voice was transfixed with what he had seen, and a teardrop hung in his eye. May I have an apple?